Thank you.
All right.
It's my co-founder, Khaled. If you ever start a company, find a co-founder like him. I'm James Beshara, co-founder and CEO of Crowdtilt, the easiest way for any group to pool funds for anything. We launched out of Y Combinator last year, and since then, we've become the fastest growing crowdfunding platform in the entire country. Today, I get to announce something that I think is the most impressive product we've built to date, but before I do that, I want to show you something. The pictures above me are pictures of a bridge in Rotterdam, Netherlands. The significance of this bridge is that earlier this year, the town of Rotterdam crowdfunded the entire thing. How freaking cool is that? A town crowdfunded something as important as a bridge. The town projected it would take 30 years to finance, but instead the people came together and crowdfunded it in 4 months. That is the promise of crowdfunding. Things like that got me excited about the concept of crowdfunding when I first heard it 4 years ago. But in the time that I first heard the concept to now, a few crowdfunding companies have popped up, and the story has changed. The story has become about celebrities funding passion projects, about gadgets that are delivered late and maybe don't even work. The story has become about limitations, fragmentation of the market, niche sites. It's been about restrictions. The hand-waving in DC of the Jobs Act has been about regulations, limitations, regulations, restrictions. That's not the promise of crowdfunding. Crowdfunding, by definition, is supposed to be about openness and accessibility. Not just inclusivity, but radical inclusivity. That's the promise of crowdfunding, not limitations and restrictions. At Crowdtilt, in the last year, we've made a few strides towards openness and accessibility. We've launched a few products and tools that have been used to fund public works, things as consequential as political races, things as seemingly trivial as party buses and birthday parties and late-night get-togethers on college campuses, to things as important as launching your small business, or as powerful as Microsoft building an entire store on our API. And if you're unfamiliar with Crowdtilt and what we've launched, here's a little refresher of what we are, what we've launched, and how we've powered these things. The first thing that we launched was Crowdtilt.com, what we think is the most accessible crowdfunding platform to date. In 30 seconds, you and your group can throw up a campaign to collect funds for anything. It's been used for everything from funding private wedding gifts to publicly funding entire weddings and anything and everything in between. But we didn't stop there. The next thing we launched was the first crowdfunding API. We said, here's our engine. You can plug it into your application. You could build an entire crowdfunding application on our API, or you can add crowdfunding to your application, all with our API. But we didn't just stop with the first crowdfunding API on top of that. 2 weeks ago, we launched CrowdHoster, the first fully customizable open source crowdfunding tool. It's full-featured, from payments on the back end to a great themed display on the front end. You can think of it like WordPress for crowdfunding. Fully open source, fully customizable. You can host it on your own domain. You can brand it however you want. And since the code base is open source, you can even modify it. But we didn't stop there. We think it's the most powerful crowdfunding tool in the world. But sometimes you don't need power. Sometimes you need accessibility, which is why I couldn't be more excited today to announce the Crowdtilt mobile app, the first full-featured crowdfunding mobile app. This is not an app that allows you to browse campaigns that are going on Crowdtilt. or browse projects that are going on in a crowdfunding platform, you can actually join and create campaigns straight from your pocket. It's the power of crowdfunding all on your phone. But I don't just want to talk about it. I brought a little video to show you what it looks like. Follow friends, join campaigns. You can even start one. See a pothole, that annoying pothole. Don't just take a picture of it and put it on Instagram. Fix it. Don't just tweet about it. Do something about it. Or maybe you want to go to Tahoe. I know I do. The second you get the idea, start collecting money for it from your friends. Looks like a lot of people want to go to Tahoe. Everyone wants to go to Tahoe. Follow friends, join campaigns, or start your own, all from your pocket. At Crowdtilt, we're developers. Of the 30 of us on the team, 23 of us are engineers. We believe in building the most open and accessible crowdfunding tools for the entire web. Crowdfunding, something you might do 2 or 3 times a year today, you will do 2 or 3 times a week in the future. You will do it 2 or 3 times a week in the future. And the gap from where we are today to where we will be in the future is a technological gap. It is an engineering gap. It requires building different products for different audiences, all in the vein of openness and accessibility. So in a major stride towards accessibility, we're launching the most accessible crowdfunding tool yet, the Crowdtilt app. It'll be in app stores next week. And from the entire team at Crowdtilt, we hope you download it. Thanks.